What if I told you some of Hollywood's biggest heartthrobs and beauty icons have changed so much? Even their biggest fans might walk right past them. Time comes for everyone. But for some celebrities, it showed up with a wrecking ball instead of a wrinkle cream. From shocking plastic surgery disasters to wild lifestyles and unforgettable scandals, these stars prove that fame can't stop the clock. Trust us. Some of these transformations will leave you laughing, gasping, and asking, "Wait, that's really them." Number 1. Janice Dickinson. Before Instagram had supermodels, there was Janice Dickinson. She proudly called herself the world's first supermodel, graced the cover of Vogue dozens of times, and ruled the fashion industry throughout the 1970s and 80s. With her striking features, fierce attitude, and endless confidence, Janice looked like someone who could stop traffic with a single glance. But when time started knocking, she decided she wasn't ready to answer the door. As the years passed, Janice became determined to hold on to her youthful appearance. She underwent multiple cosmetic procedures, including breast augmentation, tummy tucks, liposuction, facelifts, neck lifts, and frequent Botox treatments. Instead of restoring the look that made her famous, the surgeries gradually transformed her into someone many fans barely recognized. Her obsession with staying young didn't just change her face, it also took a heavy financial toll. By 2013, she had filed for bankruptcy, reportedly owing nearly $1 million with cosmetic clinics listed among her creditors. Even after becoming one of the most talked about examples of excessive plastic surgery, Janice refused to disappear. In later years, fans noticed she appeared to be embracing a softer, more natural look. Her journey serves as a reminder that beauty can open doors, but chasing perfection can become an endless marathon. Sometimes the best facelift isn't another surgery. It's finally deciding to smile at the person staring back in the mirror. Number 2. Axl Rose. There was a time when Axl Rose wasn't just the voice of Guns N' Roses, he was rock and roll itself. With his signature bandana, sky-high energy, and unforgettable vocals, he had millions of fans convinced he could outrun time forever. But as the years rolled by, even one of rock's biggest legends discovered that encores are easier to pull off than eternal youth. Fans were stunned when Axl appeared at the 2011 Rock in Rio festival, looking noticeably different. His fuller figure immediately became headline material, and critics wasted no time making jokes about his changing appearance. Rumors of Botox wigs and cosmetic touch-ups spread across the internet, while fellow rocker Scott Weiland publicly mocked him over his looks. None of those claims were ever confirmed by Axl, but they fueled endless speculation. Apparently, in the age of social media, every concert comes with a free panel of beauty judges. By the time he returned to the stage in Los Angeles, the signs of aging were impossible to ignore. His face looked puffier, his appearance had changed, and he no longer resembled the rebellious frontman fans remembered from the late 80s. Yet the moment he started singing classics like Sweet Child O' Mine, something incredible happened. The face may have changed, but the voice that defined a generation was still there. Axl's story proves that while time can rewrite your reflection, it can't erase true talent, and that's a comeback no wrinkle can steal. Number 3. Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace didn't just inherit a fashion empire, she inherited impossible expectations. After the tragic murder of her brother Gianni Versace in 1997, she stepped in to lead the legendary brand, while the entire fashion world watched her every move. As the face of Versace, she was surrounded by supermodels, movie stars, and relentless pressure to look forever young. In Hollywood and high fashion, aging gracefully often feels less like an option and more like a battle. Over the years, Donatella's appearance changed dramatically. She has publicly admitted to using Botox, while cosmetic experts have speculated that she may also have undergone lip fillers, facial fillers, laser treatments, facelifts, and eyelid surgery, though she has never confirmed those procedures herself. Each new public appearance sparked fresh headlines, with many saying the cosmetic enhancements had altered her face more than time ever could. It became one of the fashion world's most talked about transformations. Despite years of criticism, Donatella never slowed down. She continued leading Versace, dressing the biggest celebrities, and keeping the brand at the top of luxury fashion. Her story is less about beauty than about the enormous pressure to stay young in an industry obsessed with perfection. Sometimes the chase for eternal youth becomes more noticeable than the wrinkles themselves, and that's a lesson even the queen of fashion couldn't escape. Number 4. Corey Feldman. Back in the 1980s, Corey Feldman wasn't just a child star, he was everywhere. Whether he was battling vampires in The Lost Boys, searching for pirate treasure in The Goonies, or stealing hearts in Stand By Me, Corey had the kind of charm that made Hollywood believe he'd stay on top forever. If there had been a most likely to rule the big screen award, he probably would have taken it home without breaking a sweat. But fame has a habit of writing plot twists nobody sees coming. As the spotlight faded, Corey found himself facing years of personal struggles and an entertainment industry that had changed dramatically. Fans who remembered the fresh-faced teen idol were stunned by his transformation. The bright smile was replaced by a noticeably worn appearance, leaving many wondering what had happened behind the scenes. It turns out, Hollywood isn't always the fairy tale it sells on the big screen. Instead of disappearing completely, Corey chose a far more difficult path. He became one of the loudest voices speaking out about child sexual abuse in the entertainment industry, sharing painful experiences and demanding accountability. Carrying that emotional weight hasn't been easy, and many believe the years of stress are reflected in his appearance. Still, while time may have changed his face, it never took away his determination. Corey Feldman's story isn't just about getting older, it's about surviving one of Hollywood's darkest chapters and refusing to stay silent. And let's be honest, that kind of courage never goes out of style. Number 5. Jennifer Grey. Imagine becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars, then watching your entire career change because of one tiny decision. That's exactly what happened to Jennifer Grey. After stealing America's heart as Baby in Dirty Dancing, her curly hair, bright smile, and especially her distinctive nose made her instantly recognizable. She had the fame, the fans, and a career that seemed destined for decades of success. Then came one surgery that changed everything. Hoping to refine her appearance and maintain a youthful look, Jennifer underwent what was expected to be a simple rhinoplasty. The procedure dramatically altered the feature that had made her face unforgettable. After discovering an issue with the cartilage, she underwent a second operation, but the result left her looking so different that even photographers and later casting directors often failed to recognize her. Talk about the world's most expensive game of Guess Who. Jennifer later admitted she deeply regretted the decision, describing it as losing part of her identity. In her memoir, she explained that removing the one feature that made her unique also affected how Hollywood saw her. Although she eventually found peace with her experience, her story remains one of the industry's most powerful reminders that chasing perfection can sometimes cost far more than anyone expects. Sometimes the thing you want to change is the very thing the world remembers you for. Number 6. Sarah Jessica Parker. When you think of fashion royalty, one name instantly comes to mind: Sarah Jessica Parker. As Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City, she didn't just wear trends, she created them. Every outfit turned heads, every smile lit up the screen, and for years she seemed completely untouchable. But Hollywood has a funny way of reminding everyone that even style icons can't put Father Time on mute. As the years passed, Sarah's appearance became the target of endless tabloid headlines and online criticism. Instead of talking about her talent or decades-long career, people obsessed over every wrinkle, every photo, and every sign that she was simply getting older. Seriously, the internet can zoom in closer than a detective with a magnifying glass. Some commentators even mocked her slender frame and facial lines, while rumors about stress and challenges in her personal life fueled even more speculation. The harshest moment came when a men's magazine controversially labeled her the least attractive woman alive, a headline that sparked widespread backlash and reminded everyone just how brutal celebrity culture can be. Through it all, Sarah never let the noise define her. Rather than chasing impossible beauty standards, she continued building her career with confidence, proving that elegance isn't measured by flawless skin, but by resilience. After all, trends fade, gossip disappears, but real star power. That's the one thing wrinkles can't erase. Number 7, Janet Jackson. Being a Jackson comes with two guarantees: incredible talent and a lifetime under the world's biggest microscope. During the 1980s and 90s, Janet Jackson wasn't just a pop superstar, she was a global phenomenon. Her electrifying dance moves, chart-topping hits, and unforgettable style made her one of music's most recognizable faces. At the height of her career, she looked unstoppable. But even pop royalty can't hit the pause button on time. As the years passed, Janet's appearance became a frequent topic of discussion. Unlike many celebrities known for dramatic cosmetic changes, Janet's transformation was largely shaped by significant weight fluctuations throughout different stages of her life. Every time she appeared in public, headlines focused less on her music and more on the number on the scale. Apparently, some tabloids believed bathroom scales deserved Grammy Awards too. Despite the constant scrutiny, her signature smile and unmistakable Jackson features never disappeared. Away from the spotlight, Janet embraced a quieter life, spending much of her time in the Middle East after marrying a wealthy Qatari businessman. With a fortune built from decades of hit albums, sold-out tours, and business ventures, she had nothing left to prove. While age and life's challenges have changed her appearance, they never diminished her legacy. Because when your last name is Jackson, trends may come and go, but music history has already reserved you a permanent seat at the table. If you're enjoying these shocking celebrity transformations, hit subscribe and support the channel, because trust me, the next story gets even crazier. Number 8, Macaulay Culkin. For an entire generation, Macaulay Culkin wasn't just a child star, he was Home Alone. His mischievous grin, perfect comic timing, and unforgettable performance turned him into one of the biggest young actors in Hollywood history before he was even old enough to drive. It looked like he had the perfect life. But behind the cameras, the story was far less cheerful than Christmas morning. At the height of his fame, Macaulay shocked Hollywood by stepping away from acting. While most kids were worrying about homework, he was battling a legal fight with his own parents to gain control of the fortune he had earned. Years later, fans were stunned when photos surfaced, showing him looking painfully thin and almost unrecognizable. Rumors of drug addiction spread like wildfire, although Culkin repeatedly denied many of the claims. He later admitted to making some reckless choices, but insisted he had never needed treatment for addiction. Apparently, the internet had already written its own movie script. Instead of chasing blockbuster fame again, Macaulay chose a different path. He explored comedy, launched the quirky comedy rock band, the Pizza Underground, and slowly rebuilt a quieter, happier life away from Hollywood's relentless spotlight. Today, he looks healthier, happier, and far more at peace than during his darkest years. His journey proves that growing up in Hollywood isn't always the fairy tale fans imagine, but sometimes the best comeback isn't another movie. It's finally finding a life worth smiling about. Number 9. Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart has spent decades proving that rock stars don't just make music, they make headlines. With his raspy voice, unmistakable hairstyle, and larger-than-life personality, he became one of Britain's biggest music legends. His colorful love life, 8 children from 5 different mothers, and quick-witted sense of humor only added to his legendary status. In fact, Rod once joked that he'd rather buy a woman a house than get married again. Classic Rod. But behind the jokes and sold-out concerts, life threw him challenges no encore could erase. In 2003, Rod was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and the surgery threatened the very thing that made him famous, his voice. Imagine a rock legend having to relearn how to sing his own biggest hits. Through months of daily practice and determination, he slowly rebuilt his vocal strength. Then just when it seemed the worst was behind him, he revealed another battle: prostate cancer, diagnosed in 2017. Once again, he refused to let illness write the final chapter of his story. Today, Rod Stewart clearly looks different from the heartthrob fans remember from the 1970s, but his passion for performing hasn't faded. While time has added wrinkles and health battles have left their mark, his energy on stage continues to remind audiences why he's a music icon. His story proves that growing older is inevitable, but giving up is always optional. And if anyone can turn life's toughest setbacks into another standing ovation, it's Rod Stewart. Number 10. Pamela Anderson. There was a time when Pamela Anderson was impossible to ignore. As the unforgettable lifeguard C.J. Parker on Baywatch, she became one of the biggest sex symbols of the 1990s. Her signature blonde hair, iconic red swimsuit, and record-breaking Playboy covers made her a global superstar. For years, it seemed like she had discovered the secret to staying forever young. But eventually, even Hollywood's most glamorous stars have to face the mirror. As Pamela entered her 50s, paparazzi photos and red carpet appearances sparked endless debate about her changing looks. Wrinkles naturally began to appear, while beauty experts speculated she may have undergone subtle cosmetic procedures such as Botox, cheek fillers, or a minor facelift, although Pamela has never publicly confirmed many of those claims. In Hollywood, it sometimes feels like a new photo gets analyzed more thoroughly than a crime scene. Despite the rumors, she never abandoned the confidence that made her famous. Rather than letting critics define her, Pamela continued living life on her own terms. In recent years, she has even embraced a more natural appearance, appearing at events with little or no makeup, and encouraging women to feel comfortable in their own skin. Her journey proves that beauty trends come and go, but confidence lasts much longer. Time may change a face, but it can never erase the legacy of a woman who became one of pop culture's most unforgettable icons. Number 11. Lil' Kim. Before artists like Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion dominated the charts, Lil' Kim had already rewritten the rules of female hip-hop. With her fearless attitude, bold fashion, and unforgettable lyrics, she became one of rap's biggest trailblazers. But while her music made headlines, it was her dramatic transformation over the years that left fans asking the same question. Wait, is that really Lil' Kim? Around the late 1990s, her appearance began to change. First came blonde wigs and colored contact lenses, then increasingly noticeable cosmetic procedures. Over the years, fans pointed to a slimmer nose, fuller lips, facial enhancements, and a much lighter skin tone. Every new photo seemed to spark another wave of online debate. At times, it felt like the internet spent more time comparing old and new pictures than listening to her albums. Behind the transformation, however, Lil' Kim has spoken openly about struggling with low self-esteem and the emotional impact of unhealthy relationships, suggesting those experiences influenced many of her choices. Despite the criticism, Lil' Kim never stopped being a hip-hop icon. Her influence on the music industry remains undeniable, even as discussions about beauty standards continue to surround her. Her journey highlights the enormous pressure celebrities, especially women of color, often face to fit impossible ideals. In the end, fame may bring admiration, but it can also magnify insecurities. And sometimes the hardest person to convince you're beautiful is the one staring back from the mirror. Now it's your turn. What's your all-time favorite Lil' Kim song? Drop it in the comments. I can't wait to see which classic gets the most love. Number 12, Mickey Rourke. There was a time when Mickey Rourke was considered one of Hollywood's most irresistible leading men. With his rugged charm, piercing eyes, and undeniable screen presence, he seemed destined for decades of superstardom. But instead of sticking to movie sets, Mickey stepped into the brutal world of professional boxing, a decision that would change his face and his career forever. As it turns out, getting punched for a living isn't exactly recommended by skincare experts. Years inside the boxing ring left Mickey with 2 broken noses, a shattered cheekbone, damaged ribs, and countless other injuries. Hoping to repair the damage, he underwent multiple reconstructive surgeries. Unfortunately, the results didn't go as planned. Mickey later admitted he had trusted the wrong surgeon, and instead of restoring his famous looks, the procedures dramatically altered his appearance. Over the years, reports of additional cosmetic work, including a hair transplant and frequent Botox treatments, only fueled more speculation, making him one of Hollywood's most talked-about transformations. Despite everything, Mickey refused to disappear. He rebuilt his acting career with acclaimed performances in films like The Wrestler, proving that talent doesn't fade as quickly as good looks. His journey is a powerful reminder that trying to turn back the clock can sometimes leave deeper scars than time itself. In the end, Hollywood may remember his changing face, but fans will always remember the fearless actor behind it. Number 13, Meg Ryan. For years, Meg Ryan was the queen of romantic comedies and America's sweetheart. With unforgettable performances in classics like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, her bright smile and girl-next-door charm made audiences fall in love with her. At the height of her career, she seemed untouchable. But after stepping away from Hollywood, it wasn't a new movie that put her back in the headlines, it was her dramatically different appearance. When Meg returned to the public eye, fans immediately noticed fuller cheeks, tighter skin, and facial features that looked different from the actress they remembered. While Meg has never confirmed undergoing major cosmetic surgery and has spoken about accepting aging, many plastic surgeons interviewed by the media speculated she may have had procedures such as fillers, eyelid surgery, or a facelift. Before long, conversations about her face began overshadowing conversations about her incredible film career. Hollywood can turn a red carpet into an unofficial beauty contest in record time. Despite the endless speculation, Meg chose to live life on her own terms rather than chase public approval. Her story reflects the intense pressure actresses face to remain forever young in an industry obsessed with appearance. Whether the rumors are true or not, one thing hasn't changed her plus in movie history. After all, audiences may debate her looks, but they'll always remember the actress who helped define an entire era of romantic comedies. Number 14, Nick Nolte. There was a time when Nick Nolte looked like the definition of the all-American leading man. With his rugged good looks, signature blonde hair, and undeniable screen presence, he became one of Hollywood's biggest heartthrobs throughout the 1970s and 80s. Fans adored him, directors wanted him, and it seemed like nothing could slow him down. But life had other plans, and they weren't exactly camera-friendly. As the years passed, Nick's appearance changed dramatically. A hard-partying lifestyle, struggles with substance abuse, and several legal troubles gradually replaced the polished movie star image fans once knew. His infamous 2002 mugshot quickly became one of the most recognizable celebrity photos ever taken, shocking audiences around the world. Suddenly, the man once known for his leading man charm looked more like someone who had wrestled a hurricane and lost. Even so, the dramatic transformation reflected years of personal battles rather than a single moment. Despite the setbacks, Nick never completely disappeared from Hollywood. Instead of trying to recapture his youthful image, he embraced older, rougher characters that suited his weathered appearance. His story is a reminder that fame can disappear much faster than talent, and that every choice eventually leaves its mark. Time may have transformed his face, but it also gave him something many actors never achieve: an authenticity that no amount of makeup could ever create. Number 15, Keith Richards. If rock and roll had a Survivor trophy, Keith Richards would probably own it. As the legendary guitarist of the Rolling Stones, he helped create some of the greatest rock songs ever recorded. His wild lifestyle became almost as famous as his music, turning him into a symbol of rebellion for generations. For decades, fans joked that Keith wasn't just living on borrowed time, he was somehow rewriting the owner's manual. But years of heavy drinking, smoking, and drug use eventually left their mark. By his 70s, many people joked that he looked decades older than his actual age. His deeply lined face, weathered skin, and frail appearance became almost as recognizable as the guitar riffs that made him a legend. While aging is natural, many believed his hard-living lifestyle dramatically accelerated the process. Even Keith has never hidden his turbulent past, making his transformation one of rock's most talked-about cautionary tales. Despite everything, Keith never stopped making music. He continued performing with the Rolling Stones, proving that while time may slow the body, it doesn't always silence the soul. His outspoken opinions, old-school attitude, and refusal to follow trends only strengthened his larger-than-life reputation. Keith's story is proof that every choice leaves a mark, but true legends aren't remembered for flawless faces. They're remembered for the music that outlives them. And somehow, against all odds, Keith Richards just keeps rolling. Number 16, Goldie Hawn. Long before Hollywood became obsessed with filters and flawless selfies, Goldie Hawn was already one of America's brightest stars. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, her radiant smile, bubbly personality, and effortless beauty made her a fan favorite. She seemed to have discovered the perfect formula for staying young forever. But as it turns out, even the best skincare routine can't negotiate with Father Time. Unlike many celebrities who openly embraced dramatic cosmetic makeovers, Goldie focused on a more natural approach. She often spoke about cleansing her skin, staying hydrated, using sunscreen, eating healthy fats, and even trying homemade beauty remedies like coconut oil and lemon scrubs. Still, over the years, rumors began swirling that she may have turned to cosmetic procedures such as facelifts or facial fillers, though she has never publicly confirmed those claims. Apparently in Hollywood, showing up with smoother skin is enough to launch a full-scale detective investigation. Despite the endless speculation, Goldie never stopped being one of the industry's most beloved actresses. She continued embracing life with the same infectious smile that made audiences fall in love with her decades ago. Her story reminds us that aging is something no celebrity can completely escape, no matter how expensive the creams or how glamorous the lifestyle. In the end, real beauty isn't about looking 30 forever. It's about still lighting up a room at 70 and making everyone wish they had your energy. Number 17. Haley Joel Osment. In the late 1990s, Haley Joel Osment looked like Hollywood's next guaranteed superstar. After unforgettable performances in The Sixth Sense, Pay It Forward, and AI artificial intelligence, his incredible talent and innocent charm made him one of the most successful child actors of his generation. It seemed like he had the perfect future mapped out. But as Hollywood has proven time and time again, growing up can be the hardest role of all. As Haley entered adulthood, his appearance changed dramatically. The familiar baby face gave way to a thick beard and noticeable weight gain, leaving many longtime fans surprised by how different he looked. Like many former child stars, he also faced personal struggles and found it difficult to transition into adult leading roles. Before long, the internet was spending more time comparing childhood photos than recognizing the actor he had become. Apparently, Hollywood loves child stars until they start looking like adults. Despite the challenges, Haley never gave up on acting. He continued appearing in films, television series, and voice acting projects, quietly building a steady career away from the spotlight. His journey is a reminder that fame at a young age doesn't guarantee an easy life, and growing older under constant public attention can be tougher than any movie script. His appearance may have changed, but the talent that once amazed millions never disappeared.